calculated the ultimate lifespan of Earth's biosphere. If Earth's life survives the Anthropocene, it will eventually face another existential threat from space. As the sun brightens with age, it will inevitably interfere with our planet's finicky carbon cycle, triggering a depletion of atmospheric carbon dioxide to the point where plants will starve. Luckily, this won't happen until at least 1.6 billion years from now, suggesting new research from University of Chicago geophysicist R.J. Graham and colleagues that potentially doubles the projected lifespan of Earth's plants and animals. This is great news for anyone hoping for extraterrestrial life, as it significantly extends past estimates of how long Earth can maintain a functioning biosphere, but our only data for this in the entire universe. It therefore expands the estimated length of time complicated life has a chance to evolve within. And the results would suggest that the emergence of intelligent life may be a less difficult and consequently more common process than some previous authors have argued, Graham and team write in their paper. Though since the hard steps can have arbitrarily small probabilities of occurring, intelligent life could still be extremely rare even with just a single hard step. Given our current situation, it might seem counterintuitive that a warming sun could drive a decrease in atmospheric carbon, but the rate of warming would be vastly slower than today's, emphasizing different geological processes. Over time, weathering of Earth's silicate rocks by winds and rain causes them to absorb CO2, which is often buried by geological processes, to be later released into the atmosphere by volcanic activity, completing the carbon silicate geochemical cycle. This is Earth's major inorganic carbon cycle, and it shifts Earth's atmospheric CO2 over timescales of millions of years. But as the sun gets 10% brighter every billion years, it says, it gradually warms Earth, fueling greater weathering and drawing more CO2 from the atmosphere, which is bad news for plants and all other life that depends on it. And this will create an increasingly stressful environment for land plants, eventually driving them to extinction through CO2 starvation at the CO2 compensation point or through overheating at their upper temperature threshold, the researcher said. But Graham and team found that with weathering only weakly temperature dependent, as suggested by recent data, the interplay between climate productivity and weathering causes the CO2 decrease to slow and even temporarily reverse, delaying plant extinction for as long as 1.86 billion years from now. However, the researchers cautioned that their models do not factor in all variables like cloud feedback and the water cycle, which could change the results. A more computationally intensive modeling framework, for example, a global climate model coupled to an interactive land model with dynamic vegetation, would be necessary to resolve effects like these and quantify their impact on the future lifespan of the biosphere. Across multiple scenarios, Graham and team found C3 plants, the majority of Earth plant life, whose photosynthesis loses efficacy under brightness, hotter conditions, becoming extinct before C4 plants. That leaves about 500 million years where only C4 plants like sugarcane and maize exist. Reduced plant life will, of course, reduce animal life too, from a lack of food, of course, and a very extreme drop in oxygen. But perhaps some anaerobic microbes will survive until our sun gets even more powerful and boils away all the oceans. And that is if we don't wipe out huge swaths of life with runaway climate change first. If life is common beyond Earth, Graham and colleagues write, our conclusions may be testable with future observations of biosignatures on extrasolar planets. The research was published in the Planetary Science Journal. And this is on Science Alert by Tessa Koumoudos Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.